The House has passed President Trump's big tax bill. It still has to get through the Senate, but this is how Trump plans to fund his top priorities and cut taxes. To pay for it, millions of Americans would lose food assistance and health insurance, and it still would add more than $2 trillion to the national debt. Let's look at what's in it. First, this bill extends the 2017 tax cuts, which cut taxes for almost everyone. It extends that lower individual rate, which otherwise will expire at the end of the year. Next, it increases the standard deduction, or the amount that you can take off your tax bill. It also quadruples the state and local tax deduction, so if you pay a lot in local taxes, you could take up to $40,000 off your federal taxes. Next, the child tax credit would go up to $2,500 from $2,000. Only parents who are U.S. citizens would be eligible. So where do savings come in to make up for this huge drop in revenue? Cuts to social programs, like food assistance and health insurance. First, cuts to Medicaid, government-funded health insurance for low-income people. The bill saves money not by outright cutting the program, but by making it harder for people to be eligible so that fewer people are on it. Nearly 9 million people could get cut off. It does that by creating all these new hurdles like co-pays and work requirements. It would also punish states that give health coverage to immigrants. And the bill is so expensive that it could force $500 billion in cuts to Medicare starting next year. On to food assistance. One of the things it would do is make states pay for a greater share of the program known as SNAP. This could lead to cuts in states that don't have the money or aren't willing to pay. That could hit school nutrition programs and make fewer students eligible for free lunches. What else is in this bill? Huge military spending. $150 billion for the Defense Department, including the supply chain, shipbuilding, missile defense, and $140 billion for Trump's border and immigration priorities. That'll go to the border wall, building more detention centers, and transporting people who are being deported. President Biden's key legislative achievement, the Inflation Reduction Act, is basically dead. This bill cuts the EV and other tax credits and phases out clean energy subsidies. At the same time, it seeks to ramp up more oil and gas production. This bill also follows up on two big Trump campaign promises: no tax on tips or overtime. There's a tax break for seniors and for people who buy American-made cars, and a tax credit for homeschooling and private school. Next, savings accounts for babies. The latest version of the bill actually calls these Trump accounts. Newborn babies would get a savings account with $1,000 in it. For colleges and universities, taxes on their endowment would jump up from their current 1.4% tax rate. This bill would set different tax rates depending on the size of the endowment and how many students are enrolled. It would also roll back Biden's student loan forgiveness program and make other changes to loan repayments. And it cuts benefits and protections for federal workers. New federal employees would have to choose between being more easily fired or putting aside more money for retirement. Finally, this bill would raise the debt ceiling, or how much money the government can borrow, by $4 trillion.